Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our Demo Day series. I'm Shayla Smith, and for those joining us for the first time, I work with our current accounts to keep you updated on all the latest solutions from CallTower. Today, we're diving into two powerful Microsoft Teams integrations, Teams Mobile Dialer and CT Text for Teams. We're excited to show you how these features can transform your communication and mobility. I'll hand it over now to Sam Barron for a quick introduction of himself and the agenda. Sam?
Awesome. Thanks, Shayla. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I'm Sam Barron. I'm one of the directors here at CallTower. I've been with the company about 10 years. Today, for the agenda, we're going to be going over a demonstration of the Teams mobile dialer. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what Teams mobile dialer is, it's basically an option to utilize your Teams phone number in the same interface as your native cell phone mobile dialer. So it's important for businesses to understand that you have options to do that, so you can have your Teams phone number ring at the same time as your cell phone, and not have to leverage your personal cell phone number. The other thing we're going to be demoing for you today is CT Text. CT Text is an application we worked with a third party to design and build directly into the Teams mobile application as well as the Teams desktop application. That CT Text app will allow you to text inbound and outbound to either group text messages or personal text messages, depending on how you want to set it up. So Caitlin will be demoing that for you guys, and then Geronimo Garcia will be demoing the Teams mobile experience. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out after the demo, but at this time, I will turn it over to Geronimo and Caitlin, and they'll be going right into the demo for you.
All right, well, let's take a look at what the Microsoft Teams eSIM or mobile solution looks like. And for folks that are not familiar, just kind of recapping what that would specifically entail, but it's really just adding a secondary line to your mobile phone, specifically your Teams landline number. So say for your example, your Teams number is 212-123-4567. You can add this number to your mobile device as a second line. And now with the Teams eSIM, you can choose whether to present your personal or your work number when making calls from your personal mobile phone. There's no more giving out your private cell phone number when you need to call customers or suppliers while on the move. So it's as simple as, as long as your phone is supporting of eSIM and it is unlocked, then you can just go into your settings under your cellular options. And as you can see here, I've got multiple eSIMs here within my device. I can choose, if you're looking up here on the top right, I've got the cellular is using AT&T, which is my default. I also have my voice line for default, but as a user, I can choose to say, hey, default one eSIM or another. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my eSIM for Microsoft Teams, which I had it off for testing purposes, but I'll go ahead and put that on. And now if you can see up here, when I do select, it's going to ask me what it defaults to. So our eSIM mobile plans come with some additional data, so some background data like 2 megabits or 2 gigabits and 4, right, depending on what you need. So for users, they have that choice if they want to use additional data plans outside of their personal. That way, again, you don't have to reimburse those users. But that's typically how you would, once we enable that on your phone, and you would just use your native dialer on your Android device instead of using Teams. Maybe you're at a place where you don't have very good data connection and your cellular is much better. Folks don't want to receive chats, or they just really want to use the native application on their phone. So I can just launch my phone here, and then I can just dial a keypad. And so when I make or receive a call, I've got some options. Right now, you can see here it's defaulting to the AT&T. But if I wanted to make a business call, I can just click up on that top bar and then select use your team mobile line. So now when I'm making an outbound call, I'm able to outpulse my work telephone number, and inbound calls would come in and it would notify you that it's coming in on either your default carrier or your Teams mobile eSIM, so you can answer that call appropriately. So some of the benefits of having the Microsoft Teams mobile eSIM is dual line capability. So you're able to make and receive calls using the native dialer with a secondary eSIM and using the team's phone number, right? You have a unified device. Currently, use one phone for both business and personal communications, reducing the need for two devices. You also have the efficiency of improved management and administration of your corporate phone numbers. You also have the ability to monitor and record features that you would normally not be able to do with somebody's personal cell phone. So we're recording only the items that are happening in the mobile SIM and not touching what is happening or recording on what is happening on the person's personal line. So just keeping kind of that business and personal split, but you're still able to report on that business aspect, call logs, call recordings, but on one device. And then really the reliability, right? Being able to reliably connect voice over the mobile network instead of trying to rely on Wi-Fi or data connections on your device.
When you access the CT Text application, you'll be able to see, generally speaking, what we have on the screen here. So on the left-hand side of the integrated application is where you will find your text message history with either the phone numbers of individuals or their contact names. In the middle of the screen, you'll see the last message that you were in. And then on the right hand of the screen, it'll give you information about that message, that individual, that contact, or that phone number. In order to create a message, we want to go up into the left-hand side of the application to where there's a green plus button. This will enable you to create a message. You can either use the phone number of the individual by typing in a number towards the top middle of the screen where it says type a number. You could also instead search for a contact. So if I wanted to, I'd be able to search for a contact individual in those contacts. Now, we do have different contact options and groups, and I'll go through those in just a minute, but it's going to enable you to search through those contacts. If I just go ahead and type a phone number, I'll be able to see that show up here. Now, all you need to do is type in the phone number. We have a from area that has my name, but if I'm part of a shared message box, which you can have, I would be able to select this down arrow to have this phone number go out through that shared inbox. You can see when I clicked away from that phone number, it added a +1 to it. So you are able to just type in the 10-digit phone number, and then it adds in that +1 for you. Of course, you'll need to create a message, which is going to be down below at the bottom of the screen where it says send an SMS. You would then type in whatever message you would like and select enter, or on the right hand side, you have a send option. That will then send through and it takes you back to your original window where you can see that message is where it's defaulted, but also you can see on the left hand side that it's bumped up that message to the last message sent. Now within the message, we're able to see my message history. Even though I went to creating a new message, because I've already texted with this individual before, it'll show me the history there. Now I want to look at this history. So the last message I sent has 2 check marks next to it. And if I hover over, it gives some information about the date and the time that this was sent. I want to make sure that it has those 2 check marks, which it should do automatically for you. That means that the message has gone through. If we look up above about 3 and 4 options into the text message, we're able to see that I have 2 messages that give a red exclamation point. Now that means that those messages did not send. So that's giving me an error. It means I can safely presume that that individual did not receive that message. So if I get those, you would need to send it again. And if you're continuing to get that error, you'd want to reach out to support. Now I can see on the right-hand side here, my options for the conversation actions. I can copy these messages if I wanted to. I can export them. Maybe I need to share them with another individual. I can add this person as a contact directly from my messages. Maybe I need to come back to this later and I need to mark this as unread. I'm able to do that. When a message has been unread, I just went ahead and clicked that. What it does, it'll show you on the left-hand side a little green dot next to the message, as well as up by your name, it'll give you a number 1 or however many messages you have that are unread. So it will give you a number count on that left-hand side. You're also able to do things like close the conversation out if you wanted to, so you are able to do that. Say I were to export this message, I can select that, and then it'll give me a CSV file that I can just go ahead and open up so that I am able to share those messages if I would like to. Now, before we go into receiving messages, let's go ahead and take a look at our contacts. So on the left-hand side, we've got our messages here. I'm going to go up towards the top here where it says messages, and I'm going to select that down arrow and then choose contacts. When I choose contacts, it takes me into my saved contacts list. Now, I don't have any contacts that are in my saved area. This basically means I've created the contacts here. To create a new contact, you can see in the middle of the screen, there's a create new contact button. But instead, if you'd prefer, you can also go on the left-hand side of the screen where there is a circle with a plus icon, and you're able to create a new contact there. You're also able to import contacts if you'd like to. So if I were to select that, it'll enable me to download a template, or on the middle of the screen, I can just go ahead and browse files and I can upload a CSV file here. If I exit out of that though and go back to that green plus button, maybe I just want to create a new contact. I can do that and I can fill in this information. Now I can also choose who is able to see this contact. It's going to default to just enabling me as if this is my personal contact. But if I have a shared inbox, I can select for it to be in that inbox, or I can make it so that everyone within my organization is able to see that contact. I then go ahead and fill out the information, the name, the phone number, the email address, and I am able to add them to a group if I would like. That's basically going to be an organization option, so that say I wanted everyone in my sales department to be in an easily accessed group, I could do that here. Then when I'm ready, I'll go ahead in the bottom right-hand corner. Here, let me just go ahead and type in something here. And then what you'll be able to see is in the bottom right-hand corner, a Save Contact button. You are able to just select that, or if you know you're going to be adding, 3, 4 contacts, you can select the Save Contact and add another so that it pops you right into this area to continue on. When you select Save Contact, this is what it'll look like, and that contact was created, now showing up on that left-hand side. Now, if I go up to where it says Saved Contacts, I can select that drop down and I can look at other options for accessing contacts, including my directory or even my Outlook. So if I select Outlook contacts, it's going to pull up anyone I have in my Outlook as a contact. If I go back and select directory contacts, I'm able to see everyone within my organization's directory, and then I can search for contacts here. When you saw me create that message, it's going to search based off of the contact list that you are utilizing. So we can see that in my directory contacts, I have a lot more options than in my shared contacts. So I need to make sure that I'm in my directory contacts when I go to send a message and I'm searching for the individual if I want them to show up. So for instance, let's go ahead and look back at that. So I'm going to go back to messages. I'm going to go back to creating a message, and I'm going to go ahead and now I'm in my directory contacts on the left-hand side because that's the last contact list that I accessed. Now, the first time you go in, it's going to default again, as I indicated, to your shared contacts. But then once you've utilized it, once you've opened up other contact lists, it'll default to the last one that you we're utilizing. So now if I wanted to send a call or a text message, excuse me, to an individual, I would just go ahead and choose that person from this list, select the little plus button, and it adds their name to the to area. Now, depending on what plan you get for CT text, you're able to send broadcast. So broadcast means that I could continue to add different individuals to this message. And we can see that it says from Caitlin Berry as a broadcast. And what that means is when I were to send this message, when I go down to send an SMS and I type a message, that it's broadcasting out to these individuals, but when they respond to me, those responses will be individual text messages. So this is not a group text message. It is a broadcast, and you can broadcast up to 10 phone numbers. And again, it's dependent on your service. So there is also a service that enables you to utilize group chats. That means that you'd be able to send this as a group. So I could send it to everyone. I would have to select this from as a option, choose group chat. And then I would be able to send this to everyone as one message, and it stays on one message thread. That has a limit of roughly 25 individuals that can be part of that group message. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of these individuals and just go ahead and type in, again, a phone number. And then down below, when it comes to sending a text message, I indicated that you can just type in your message and send it. There is a limit of 160 characters per message, so we can see that in the bottom right-hand corner here. But we are able to send a couple of different things. So you're able to see that I can attach something here. So if I select that, it's going to pull up any of my files that maybe I'd want to attach. I can utilize emojis if I'd like. So I'd be able to do that. And then the last option here is a translation option that is, again, going to be on the professional plan, but you're able to translate or use translation services so that you're able to change the message into a different language. And there's about 60 different languages that you can choose. Same thing comes when it goes to receiving a message. You're able to translate that so that you're able to read it in a language that you would prefer. And then again, of course, whenever you're ready, you can use that send button or do what I just did, which is click enter. Now, when you receive a message, that message will pop up for you and it'll notify you within this application. So I'll go ahead and have that message come in. It'll pop up within the application, but we can also see here on the left-hand side that it's notifying me where it says CT text, so where the application notifier is, and then up above in my chat area. So I will get that notification in both areas. Now I can come into this area, into CT text, and I'm able to send the message out by accessing the message through there, or I can just simply go into my chat and then select where it says CT text card, and I can see the message there. I'm able to reply directly from here if I'd like by selecting that reply option, or I can go to my inbox. It'll take me into CT text. If I choose to reply, just go ahead and type in whatever message, click send. Enter won't work in this area. You have to click that send button, and then it'll go ahead and send. But you are able to access that information again on the left-hand side. Just go ahead and go into your text messages and you're able to see that. That's going to be the ins and outs of CT text. Super user-friendly, super easy to just create contacts and messages from the Microsoft application itself.
Thanks for joining us for today's demo day. We hope you found the Teams mobile dialer and CT Text for Teams valuable and see how these tools can make a real impact on your communication strategies. If you have any questions or want to dive deeper into how these solutions can fit your specific needs, feel free to reach out. Our contact details are on the screen. Sam and I are here to guide you through the next steps, whether it's setting up a consultation or providing more information. Till next time, stay connected and stay ahead.